everyone! Today I am going to show you how to do a traditional granny square. When I say traditional, I just mean when it changes, when the color changes, you know, every row, every round. I consider that more of what has traditionally been done, because usually, you know, granny squares are done to sort of use up scraps, and usually you don't have a whole lot of the scraps, so that's why. You can do granny squares in different ways. You can, you know, make them different sizes. You can see that this one is a little bigger than this one. Or, you know, you can do solid colored ones, which I will be putting up a tutorial for at some point. But for today, we are just going to talk about the ones where the color changes. To make a basic multicolor granny square, you just need obviously multiple colors of yarn. You should stick with the same weight of yarn. What I've got here is actually worsted weight, so that's what I'm using. You'll need a crochet hook that's appropriate for the size yarn you're using. I'm using a size I crochet hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter, and a tapestry needle to weave in the ends. Let's go ahead and get started. With the first color yarn, you're going to make a slip knot. So you wrap the yarn like that, put the hook under this strand, grab that, pull through, and then you're going to tighten it up. And then you're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to join into the first chain with a slip stitch. So you just insert your hook there, yarn over, and then you're going to just pull through what's on your hook. See, it leaves a space there, and that's what we're going to work into. Okay, you're going to chain 3. This counts as your first double crochet. Then you're going to do 2 double crochets into the space in the middle. Okay, there you go. Then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets into that space again. You can see I've sort of been working over the end. I just do that because it helps me at the end. So I don't have to weave in as many ends. Right, so we're going to chain 2 again, and then do 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets into the space. Grab some more yarn. You're going to chain 2, and then you're going to join with a slip stitch into the top of the first chain that you did, the first set of chains, the chain 3. So you're going to go right there. So that's what it looks like. And we're going to go under both sides of that V. So right there. And I usually have to go through one side and then the next. Alright, and then slip stitch, so you're just going to yarn over and pull through, and then pull through what's on your hook. So there you go. Now if you worked through, you might have to pull that end out. Like when I worked over it, it kind of wanted to go to the front, but yeah. Okay, and so you're going to go ahead and bind off. So just pull through again, basically you're doing a chain, but just pull through, and then we're going to cut the yarn. Okay, and then just leave that there. And there you have, that's your the first round of your granny square. Since with the classic, traditional, whatever you want to call it, granny squares change color every row, that's what we're going to be doing. So you're going to need to grab your second color. You're going to go ahead and make a slip knot again. And then this is where we ended, okay? So I'm actually going to work into the space before that. Okay, and you can go in from the front or the back, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to go like that. Yarn over, grab it, and then it's a little fiddly. There you go. Okay. And then we're going to chain 3. You're going to do 2 double crochets into the space. Chain 2. And then you're going to do 3 double crochets into the same space. Again, I am sort of working over the yarn, but if you find it easier to weave in the ends afterwards, then just sort of move it out of the way. Okay, so you can see there's the corner of that. And then what we're going to do is just start working into this next space. And I'm just going to do 3 double crochets. Chain 2. 3 more double crochets. So each, like when you're doing granny squares, I guess the more traditional granny squares, they have clusters of 3 double crochets. So just keep that in mind as you go forward. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same thing into this corner and this corner. So 3 double crochets. Chain 2. Grab some more yarn. All right, and then 3 double crochets. And again, same thing into the next corner chain space. So 3 double crochets. Chain 2. 3 double crochets. So there you go. And then you are going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from where you joined the new color of yarn. So that's what mine looks like. And we're going right here. So that there it is from the back, you can see. Then I'm under 2 loops on the top and over 1 on the bottom. You yarn over, pull through, and then pull through that. And again, just go ahead and change colors. So I just go like that, pull it through, tighten it, cut the yarn. So there you have it. Okay. There are the first 2 rows. Okay. I've went ahead and made a slip stitch and so I could join the new color of yarn. You can pretty much join wherever you'd like. I'm gonna join in this space here, but if you want, you can go ahead and start over here. I do tend to like just start randomly, especially if I'm making a bigger granny square, but that's up to you. Okay, so again, to join the yarn, you're just going to, with the slip stitch there, put your hook in where you want to join, and then just pull through the yarn like that. And there you go. And then just pull it a little tight, because sometimes it'll be a little loose there. And then you're going to chain 3. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other row. We're going to do 2 double crochets. So you end up with a 3 cluster there. You're going to chain 2. And then you're going to do 3 more double crochets into the same space, the corner space. And if you're on a splitty like mine, make sure you're not splitting the yarn. And now the only thing that's going to be different is now you've got these spaces here along the sides where you didn't have that before. And you're just going to just do 3 double crochets into them as well. Okay. And then for each of the corners, we're going to do 3. So we're basically doing the exact same thing. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So each of the corners will sort of expand out. You can see from here. Okay, and then the side, any spaces along the side are going to have just 1 in there. So again, 3 double crochets. Chain 2, 3 double crochets, okay, and again, the space on the side, 3 double crochets into it without making chains between the spaces. Okay, and you're just going to continue on in this fashion all the way around till you get to the beginning. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll come back and show you, where to slip stitch. Alright, so there you go. I've went all the way around, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we did at the very beginning of the row. And for me, that's a little tight sometimes, so you have to work it. There you go. And then we're changing colors again, so go ahead and do that. And pull through all the way. And then depending on what size granny square you want to make, you just basically continue doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. You can make them as big or as small as you want. This is a perfectly acceptable size. What I like to do though is when I'm joining them, I like all of the last color that I do to be the same color. So if I had this one and then one with like a variation of colors, my last row would be the same. So I actually have one that I've completed already. See? And so what I would do is always make sure that my last row is gray. And so that way when I'm seaming them together, I think it just makes it look a little nicer. But you don't have to do that. If you want them to be multicolored, go right ahead. I just think that it just makes some of the mistakes that can happen when you are joining them a little less noticeable. Just go ahead and make it as big as you want to. Just remember that in all of the corner spaces, you're going to have 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. And all of the side spaces, it'll be 3 double crochets, so 1 cluster in each side. And then you don't chain between anything except on the corners. And that just makes the corner space there. You already have a space there, so you don't need to make that. And then all you have to do is weave in the ends. So you just use your tapestry needle to weave them in as you want. You may have to see like how I've got that one's a little loose. You may have to pull a little tight or just pull a little bit so it makes it a little nicer looking, but that's pretty much all you have to do. And some people leave the last tail, like if this were the last round, they leave that to help join, but I like to go ahead and weave everything in. Alright, well that's it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Bye!